Good evening, friends and partners in rural transformation. My name is Catherine Namwezi, and I am an alumna of the URDT Girls School and currently attending Hope College in Holland, Michigan. Now, I speak really fast, so if I get really fast, like someone just tell me to slow down, and I promise you I will. I'm very glad to have the opportunity to be here to share my life story with you and to also say thank you to all of you that have made all this happen for me and for all the girls back home. I joined URDT Girls School in 2003 in Primary 5, which is an equivalence of 4th grade in the US education system. When I joined the URDT Girls School, I was introduced to a new environment and unique education model that was different from all the other schools that I had previously been to, like all my elementary schools. Now, at the girls' school, we had an education that shaped us and helped us into becoming visionary and purposeful leaders. Before I go very far, I want to say my father was working with URDT before he passed away when I was 2 years old, and Mwalimu Musheshe made this education possible for me. I want to highlight the back home projects from the URDT Girls School, which is a very big and integral part of the URDT Girls School curriculum. Now, what the back home projects do is, while in school, at the end of every term, our teachers train us in different things, in a range of activities, like you've already seen from other people. So we learn things like, the importance of girl-child education and learn about stuff like HIV/AIDS and, how to avoid malaria and how to prevent malaria. And we also learn hands-on skills like modern methods of farming. So, for example, apiary and, beekeeping, like chicken brooding and like growing vegetables and all these kinds of things. And when we go back home then, we're expected to put these things that we learn in school into practice with our parents. Now, when I joined the girls' school in 2003, my first back home project that I had was about visioning, like you already heard from everybody else. So my mother and I were asked to make a vision of what we wanted to see in the future, like how we wanted our family to look like in the next years. And I clearly remember, it's very ironic that the lady that you made kind of had the same vision as us, but I remember when my mother and I were asked to make this vision, we dreamt big like everybody else. So one of our visions was to have me graduate from school, come back home as a doctor, set up my own hospital, and then employ my mother, who was a village nurse. So we kind of had that mutual agreement. And then we also had, other things like having a good home with, a brick house with a good latrine and a good bathroom and a good drying rack. And we also agreed on having kitchen gardens that would help supplement our diet. Now, I'm happy to say that we were able to achieve most of those, except for one. I haven't become a doctor yet, but every other thing we did achieve. And it's because, at a very young age, I was taught by URDT to think about my own future and think about what I wanted, and that has really shaped who I am today. At the girls' school, we also had what we called the community sensitizations. Did I say that right? Community sensitizations. I tend not to get how to the right way of saying most of these words, but the community sensitizations were projects that we did. So the music, dance, and drama group of the URDT Girls School went out to the community at the end of every term for 10 days. And what we did there was educate the community about the things that we learned in school. So we taught people about HIV/AIDS and malaria and good methods of farming that we learned from school. And through this, the community was, the community got engaged, and the community also benefited from our own education, through us sharing our knowledge with them through the music, dance, and drama. We also had radio programs, like they already showed you, the Kagadi Chivale Community Radio. And what we did was every week, a group of us girls went to the studio, and what we did was we would hold a radio talk show, and talk about the exact same things. And then at the end of the radio talk show, the community members would then call into the radio and give us feedback on what they thought. And then sometimes they would even pose questions and like say, what do you girls think of this? And what do you think of this? And that kind of thing, like those kinds of programs, not only empowered us and made us confident and believe in ourselves, but they also benefited the community. And then they also had us creatively think about, like these issues and provide, like realistic solutions to the issues. At the URDT Girls School, I was personally involved in very many leadership roles. I love leadership. It's like my favorite thing to do. So for example, I was head prefect as well as language and entertainment prefect. I was also the chairperson or the president of the Girls Education Movement. I was also the chairperson or the president of the Club 29ers. And all these leadership roles helped shape me as a person. Like I was given the opportunity to express myself and to let myself be and to try out leadership and to do the things that I felt mattered to me the most. And they all shaped me to be the person that I am today. However, things changed for me in 2006 when I lost my mother at the age of 14. I was faced with the harsh reality of being the oldest child in the family. It was not fun. So what that meant was I had to take over my mother's roles and become the head of our family. So I had to take care of my 5-year-old twin siblings, my grandmother, and myself. And ladies and gentlemen, as you can imagine, that was not easy and it was not fun at all. However, with the skills that I had learned from the girls' school, I was able to successfully manage my family. And right now, I can proudly tell you that my grandmother, my twins, and myself are all doing so well, and I am really happy about it. Thank you. So from the skills that I gained from the URDT Girls School, I was able to raise enough income to support my family. So for example, we're taught how to make different handicraft items. So like I was taught how to make baskets and chairs and tables, and that's what I did, and I raised like income to support my family. I also continued the back home projects, and what I would do is I would grow staff because the girls' school is a boarding school, so every time we had a school break, I would go back home, grow stuff, and sell it to the community members before it's ready. And then they would give me food, they would give me money that enabled me and the twins to go back to school and also provide for our grandmom. Along the way, however, my vision changed. Now, I decided I did not want to be a doctor anymore, but the more I grew and the more I got involved in all these issues at URDT, I came to realize that my passion was to become a rural transformer. Now, I have so much hard time pronouncing that word, but rural is, what I mean is R-U-R-A-L, rural transformer. I can't get that word, but so I realized that that was my passion, to become a rural transformer. And with my biggest role model being Mwalimu Musheshe, the CEO of the school, as you already saw, I knew I wanted to be just like him. I knew I wanted to do exactly what he did, and I knew I wanted to be a change agent. And one of the goals of URDT is to educate us to be agents of change in our own communities. And as time went on, I realized that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be the person that helped the people in my own village have better futures for themselves. I wanted to be the person that would help people in my own village create new futures and dream big and, have better homes, peaceful homes with enough income in their homes and enough food and their children educated. So in 2009, the co-founder of the URDT Girls School, Alida Bakema, told me about the International School of Uganda. And the International School of Uganda is an IB curriculum school, and it was giving out one scholarship to one Ugandan student. So I applied for the scholarship, and I got the scholarship. However, Thank you. But the really interesting part about the scholarship is I remember during the final interviews, it was 9 of us that did the final interviews, and I was competing with people from, like the top schools in the country, but I was one of them. And the fun part about it is during the oral interviews, we were asked about our visions. And as you can bet, I was super excited to answer that question because and that's because from a very young age, I was nurtured by URDT. I was always told to think about my vision and what did I want to do in the future, and like what vision did I have for myself, for my family, and for my community. And when I was asked what my vision was, I did not even take a second to think about it. I just went right into it and answered the question, and I think I impressed the people because I got the scholarship. So while at ISU, at the end of grade 12, I also applied to Hope College, that also gives out one scholarship to one African student every other year, and I also got it. I seem to get all the one things. Then in the same year, I was also the recipient of the prestigious Margaret Sanders Award, and it was awarded to me for being perseverant, motivated, and cultural understanding. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to say, with all my leadership skills and all my leadership background at URDT Girls School, I think that is part of the reason as to why I was able to attain and achieve all these things. And one other thing I want to say is, with all the background that I had at the girls' school, I have been able to continue with my leadership roles in my new environments. For example, while in ISU, I was chosen by the American Embassy in Kampala to be one of the Ugandan youth advisors to Washington, and I was the youngest on the group, so I got the chance to interact with other dynamic Ugandan youth who are also aspiring to be change agents in their own communities. Right now at Hope College, I just ran for and got elected, so I'm now part of Student Congress, and all these thank you. And all these leadership opportunities have enhanced me to, to be the person that I want to be, and have also shown me that this is actually what I want to do. Now, on a very personal note, it's honestly very humbling for me to see that people like you are willing to support people like me to have an education. You're willing to support us to be the people that we want to be. When I joined the girls' school, I was told several things that I always remember. Like, I was told I could be the change that I wanted to see in my own community. And I was told the power to change and become a better person was within me. And I was also told that girls could do it too. And it's very humbling that people like you are willing and are able to support people like me to be the person that I want to be. And one thing that I really want to say is when you educate people like us, when you empower people like me, you not only empower us and our families, but you also educate and empower the whole of Uganda. Therefore, on behalf of the girls' school and on behalf of Uganda at large, I really, really want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you so much.